Hey everybody, growing your food from scraps. So there's a lot of plants that are actually very favourable to this. So one of them being your spring onion. I know there's a lot of different names we tend to call them, but that one works. So a lot of the time you'll get them and they've still got roots on them. That seems to be pretty common these days. So that's the part that you need to keep an eye on. Now I've tried this a few times with varying levels of success and found out that the main reason that I didn't succeed in the times that I didn't was I didn't actually leave enough on there. So you want to basically, when you cut it, leave about an inch. Alright, so I'll show you next. So basically, cutting board, sharp knife, about roughly an inch. You know, it doesn't need to be too precious about it, but then you chop him off. Voila. This is the part that you need to keep. So then put that into some water. So small glass, if you've got a shot glass, that works well. There's a couple other things that I've tried that seem to work nicely. Depending on the actual size of the roots and so forth, you may actually have a bit more restriction needing a smaller container. Nice seedling tray, something along these lines. Reasonable amount of depth. If you get it with the extra container as well, it's kind of drained but also have a nice reservoir of moisture, so you don't have to be topping it up non-stop, and relatively narrow there so that you can actually get it to keep it standing up, which is really good. Other option, if your egg trays happen to be plastic like this one, reuse it rather than basically having it as scrap. And that's pretty well the perfect sort of size as well. So that's a really handy one that you can use for them, and you know, probably a few other types of veggies too, at least getting them started. And pretty soon you'll be able to have them growing back like this. This is a week's growth. So after a week you actually get yourself, you know, usable amount. So the more of them you actually get started with, obviously the quicker it's going to give you a usable feed, you know. After a little bit of time, make sure that the water doesn't get all moldy or anything, but then you can even plant them into a nice small pot. They don't root very deeply, so that's an added kicker. So you don't need to worry about it. Great on the patio, on the windowsill, whatever. So, it's my one from the glass that this is about a week old now. And those are the other ones that I showed you before. That's 2 weeks. So as you can see, they're a pretty quick grower. So you're going to know if you're getting some results out of it pretty quickly. Now at this stage here, this is where I'm thinking that it's got enough going. Actually, that's probably fine too. I'm going to put it into a pot like that. Obviously, I'm going to put more soil in there than there's in there at the moment. Plant them in. Probably wind up needing to get myself a couple of these. And voila, I should have myself plenty of these bad boys that I'll be able to keep myself going without having to worry about buying too many more. So there you have it. Save yourself some money. Don't throw those scraps away. Easy to grow, very simple. If you haven't had success before, I can pretty well guarantee you made the same mistake that I've made in the past, and that is not actually leaving enough with the roots. Keep an eye out if you want to try to do it. Have a look at them when you're buying them from the supermarket or wherever you buy them. Sometimes they don't actually have the roots on them. Try to grab yourself a bunch that has mostly roots. Enjoy. Save yourself some money. Use those scraps.